Hello everyone, welcome back. This is our third video tutorial for our Skywars project on Scratch, and the focus for today is to add domino chain reactions into our Scratch game. So one very simple way to do it is to look at the current things or interactions that we already have in our game. Okay, so I'm just going to play a few seconds of the game. I want you to observe what happens to the sprites when the bullets touch them. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm going to pause the game here. Now everyone, do you notice that when the bullet sprites touch either the player or the enemy sprite, it will disappear, but it will deduct some health points from either of our sprites? Now, that is already itself quite interesting and engaging, but let's make it a bit better by applying the domino chain reaction effect today. Okay, we're going to make a special crashing effect whenever the bullet sprite touches the enemy sprite. And for this crash effect to happen, we are going to use a crash sprite, and we're going to broadcast message such that we can connect sprites to each other and let a sprite appear when another sprite has commanded for it to appear. Okay, so let's get started with this. It's very simple coding today, very simple logic. I'm going to first upload my sprite template of the crash sprite that I have. Okay, if you want, you can create yours from scratch using the paint tool. If not, you can download yours from eCampus as how as I've provided it, and then you can start your coding. Okay, so my Scratch sprite template has already been uploaded to Scratch. Okay, there it is. It's empty now. There's no code. We're going to do the code today. But if you were to jump to your costumes tab, you will notice that there are 14 different costumes for our crash sprite. Okay, it's a bit like an animation. So if I were to click through all the costume, it slowly shows a crash or a smoke cloud appearing and then slowly dissipating. Okay, so this is the crash effect that we're going to apply in our Scratch game today whenever the bullet sprite touches either of our player or enemy sprite. Okay, so let's get started with the coding. Alright, so for my crash sprite, I'm just going to do a very simple code first to get the size right. So when green flag is clicked, I'm going to set its size to about 20%. And then I don't want my crash sprite to appear at the start. I'm going to hide it first. Okay, so I'm going to hide it. Alright, now I need to create a set of messages to activate my crash sprite. So I'm going to jump to our bullet sprites because they are the ones activating the message. Going to start with the player bullet sprite first. Okay, so for our player bullet sprite, previously what we have coded is if touching enemy, then it's going to deduct the enemy health by 1 and then it's going to delete itself. Okay, but we're going to add a little message broadcast here. So for this, go to your events code tab. Okay, we're going to broadcast a message, pull this out, pop it in between the two blocks here. So change enemy health by -1, broadcast. We're going to make a new message. Okay, and what message this is going to be is, since our player bullet sprite is the one hitting the enemy, we're going to say attack. Okay, so we're going to create a message that says attack. Alright, okay, now what happens when the attack message is sent out? We are going to make our crash sprite receive the message attack and appear. Okay, so let's go to our crash sprite now. We're going to code for this. So under events, when I receive, okay, so this is the message here. When I receive the message attack, I am going to show myself. So my crash sprite finally shows itself. It's going to move all the way to the front layer so that it doesn't get hidden behind the other sprites. Okay, I'm going to make it appear with the first costume first. Okay, so go to the front layer, switch costume to, I'm going to choose the first costume, costume number 1, and then I'm going to make it go to the enemy sprite since that is where the crash effect will appear. So go to motion, look for a go to block. Okay, go to enemy. Alright, and then I'm going to make this costume change appear. Okay, so that it shows a full crash animation. So for this, we're going to do a simple repeat of next costume. Okay, since we have 14 costumes, I'm going to just do the costume change 13 times. So repeat 13 times of next costume. Okay, so this creates our crash animation before it finally dissipates and hides itself. Okay, so let's test this out just for the attack sprite message. Okay, so if I were to shoot my bullet at the enemy sprite, do you see that? There's a very nice crash effect that appears. Okay, so this is the domino chain reaction, wherein one sprite causes the effect of another sprite. Okay, I'm going to pause it here now. Okay, now that we have got our crash effect for our enemy sprite, let's do the same for our player sprite. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the enemy bullet. Okay, after the change player health by -1, I'm going to do another message broadcast. So under events, let's pull out a broadcast block. Okay, we're going to change the message here so we do not clash the messages. New message. Okay, since this is the enemy bullet sprite hitting our player sprite, we're going to make a message that says ouch. So message ouch. Okay, and then we're going to apply this to our crash sprite. So let's jump to our crash sprite. Okay, how I do this is I'm going to do a simple duplication of this code but change some of the values. Okay, so duplicate the attack code. Let me just shift the codes a bit to the left so you can see them. Okay, so now when I receive the message ouch, I'm going to show myself, go to the front layer, switch costume to the start, go to the player because now the player is the one getting attacked. Okay, repeat 13 times, do my costume animation change before I hide myself. Okay, and that's all for the code today. Let's test this out to see if this works. So now our game looks more complete with this additional domino chain reaction. Okay, and the crash happened. Okay, so everyone, that wraps up our third video tutorial for Skywars today. Have fun with this domino chain reaction effect. See what else you can introduce to your game to make it more exciting and realistic. Okay, see you in the next tutorial for a special end to your Skywars game.